It's time for gaming. Time for more incredible Virumbringers action. I think my retainers have probably returned with goodies. Yes, they have. Lovely. So far, the Paladin is at level 39, almost level 40. It's now at that level where it's a bit of a pain to level it because it's not like it's hard, but it means I have to go through this dungeon and then this dungeon and then like just these, and they're not fun. Yo, 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 what's good, Nitrix? Alright. Let's continue with MSQ, though. Yeah, once we get past 50, because as well as this, it's like you're limited in what daily roulettes you can do, because obviously at level 39 all the way up to 50, all you have is leveling. But once you hit 50, you get all of these except for normal raids. Good evening, squad. You know what? Let's do this in the Gunbreaker glam. Feel like Gunbreaker today. No, wasn't lying when he said I'd be defenseless. So I'm counting on you all to give me the time I need. Our sole purpose will be to keep you out of harm's way, so leave that to us and focus on your own task. Indeed, and should you want for ether, you need only say the word. Yeah, that is a good thing. You do gain levels very quickly with the stuff. Garbu, did you follow us here? There's something important that I want to say to the High Priest. Express, state, say. Please, let me come with you, please. I'm sorry, but it's too dangerous. I need you to promise me that you'll stay here where it's safe, alright? My apologies for the wait. It took time, but we have secured our audience. All unfolded as expected. At the mention of my returning their crystals in person, the kobolds suddenly remembered how keen they were to be reconciled. And so, in the glorious spirit of cooperation, we are to be received by Patriarch Zardar of the Second Order, who awaits our pleasure in the navel. If you are ready, let us proceed to Ugamora Mines at once. The one nice thing, I guess, is technically if I'm patient, I don't really need to do dungeon runs to level up classes, because I can, if I want, just do my daily front lines with that class, and that helps them jump quite quickly, or quite a lot of levels. Like, front lines gives enough experience for like a level or two. Oh yeah, these mines I have to go up and around this way. That's true. Oh, I haven't done Palace of the Dead in ages. I actually did it, the last time I did it was a good while ago with, Asta and Pop-Tart and, Pop-Tart's partner, Matsu. We're going into a duty type instance. Remind myself, what do I get at 80 with this class? Oh yeah, Bloodthirst. That's cool. Fated Circle. I'll go with Dragoon. The Aetheryte will bear us to our quarry. Should he make to summon Titan, as I anticipate, we will halt the ceremony and restrain him. At this, all hells will break loose, and we will have an army of kobolds to entertain till Alize's work is done. Just remember, none must die. We weaken them, and let Einzar do the rest. It's time. Stay the course, my friends. Spy calmer waters beyond the squall. I love his goofy headdress. It is amazing.
Greetings, Patriarch. I am Merlwib Blufisvin, Admiral of Limsa Laminsa. I come before you to offer my sincerest apologies for the many wrongs committed by my people against you and yours.
You were foolish to come here. Stupid, unwise, foolish. The Great Father shall have your souls for your folly.
Aye, just as we thought.
Now, Alize! Quickly!
You don't need to tell me!
Iggy!
Let none pass. We must grant her as much time as we can.
So we're killing none of them.
We must protect Alize!
Bang.
revoir, Alizé.
What?
More! I need more ether!
Woo! Ah, that's close. Okay. Sheesh! Damn. We're almost there. There's a fellow over there. Ugh. On my web. Right? They deserve it. Maybe at level 100. Heh. True, true, it does.
Yes, this will do. Here I go.
Piggy power! Angelo!
Did it work? What?
What is the meaning of this?
I'm sorry, but they died by your hand. You sacrificed them to summon Titan.
Oh yeah, that's Garbu's parents, isn't it? Their corpses have just been here this whole time.
No, no, no! Why? Why would I do such a thing?
Would that there were a cure for the victims of the Tempered.
Garbu!
Garbu! What are you doing here?
Patriarch, please listen to me. Hear, heed, listen. The Great Father we have been summoning is false. He only hurts us and those we love. For a long time, his voice filled my mind. It told me to do terrible things. Awful, unspeakable, terrible things. But I didn't give in to it, and you mustn't either. There's been too much pain already, so please, end the suffering.
Talk your talk, young kobold!
What have I done?
We share this child's desire, Patriarch. An end to summoning, for it spells naught but misery for both our peoples. For many long years, man and kobold have feuded over territory, pillaging and perishing for the earth beneath our feet. It may be said that we fought to survive, but what we have sown in blood, we have reaped in suffering, and it cannot go on. I would see us set aside the past and work together for peace.
It was wrong of me to hurt my own in the name of the Great Father. Sinful, evil, wrong. But that doesn't mean there can be peace between us. Men cannot be trusted. The bounty of the land was to be ours, and yours the bounty of the sea. But you broke the pact. Violated, breached, broke. Unready as we were, what choice had we but to call upon the divine to rid ourselves of your tyranny?
None, and I do not blame you for it. In violation of the spirit, if not the letter of the pact, we took your lands for our own. The fault lies wholly with us. On behalf of all Laminsons, I offer you my humblest apology. I pray you'll find it in your heart to accept it.
No.
Yet I know an apology alone will not serve to make things right. So, we will revise the pact to leave no room for doubt. And any who violate it shall face justice, swift and certain.
No, we won't be fooled. Not again.
Please, hear me to the end. Fleeting though it was, there was a time when man and kobold abided together in harmony, in cooperation. In those days, your people shared the secrets of smelting. Knowledge which allowed Limsa Lominsa to thrive. Much of what we have, we owe to the kobolds. And so, for the good of all who dwell on this isle, I wish to make you an offer. We will bear your people's wares to every corner of the world, and trade them in your stead. In return, we will bring you the bounty, not only of the sea, but lands both near and far. Whatever you desire, the Navigator as my witness, you shall have it. There will be no more man and beastman, just the crew of the great ship that is Virumbringers. And together, we will share in the wealth of the world, if you'll only accept our hand in friendship.
Nah.
We want to believe you. We truly do. But we believed you before and you betrayed us. Fooled, deceived, betrayed us.
There are bad men, it's true. But there are also good ones. And the ones before you are the best of them. They were always kind to me. Caring, nice, kind, and I trust them with my life.
Young Gabu. If they... When they do the big visual overhaul for this game, Gabu deserves his own unique model.
I stole, I fought, I stained the sea red with blood. Such is my past, and I dare not forget it, however much I might want to. That is death penalty. The pistol I used to pass judgment on my own sire when he fell thrall to Leviathan and betrayed his comrades.
What a cool name for a gun.
If you
Death
would point
penalty.
it at my head and pull the trigger, I would most assuredly die.
So this is the strength of your conviction.
Though it isn't much, my life is the single most valuable thing I possess. If it will suffice to atone for past wrongs, take it. A single bullet to annul the old pact, and my blood to write it anew. What comes after, I entrust to this man, my second in command. I know that he will do his utmost for the happiness of all who call Virumbringers home.
He didn't shoot her. Yep. I was gonna say he either shot the ground by her feet or he shot it up into the air.
I do not trust you. Not yet. But Gabu does. And I will trust him.
We want you to know that we respect your faith. There's nothing wrong with giving thanks to the land which sustains you. But summoning is different. Should you hear of anyone who would attempt it, we ask that you appeal to their better judgment, or failing that, seek our aid. We're always ready to help.
Many and more of my brethren are yet enthralled to the Great Father, just as I was. If you could free them too, I would be grateful. Appreciative, thankful, grateful.
I think a lot of it is just timing. Just coming off of the 5.3 story arc, which was magnificent. This is such a drastic change of pace and tone.
'Tis we who should be grateful, Patriarch. I thank you for affording us this chance.
It would seem we have found a way forward with the kobolds. Next, we will help the Second Order to free the Tempered Brethren from thraldom. Theirs is far from the only order, of course, and it will take no small amount of time and effort to reach the rest. But reach them we will, however long it takes. I would say that I was in your debt, but that has long been true. So instead, I will say thank you for helping us to plot a new course not only for Limsa Lominsa, but all Eorzea.
Right. Let's return to the Rising Stones.
I think it's less colonialism is okay, and I think that what they're trying to get across is
Something
that
strange is afoot at the floating city.
the colonialism we did of the past was bad.
Breathe,
We're trying
man.
to rectify
What
the
is it?
we're trying to rectify and find common
I think
ground.
it's best you see for yourself. Please, come with me.
At least that's the impression that I've been getting anyway. Because the greed of the humans is what caused these tensions in the first place between man and beast man. What happened?
in the world is that?
Whoa.
A tower. You can see it too, then? I feared I was losing my wits. One moment I was patrolling as usual, and the next it was just there.
I think also with all of this going on, we haven't had anything with regards to
Yes?
well,
This is she.
like Xenos and
I am.
the Empire, the Garlean
I'm
Empire
looking
for a
at it.
minute. Particularly since we
What?
know there's a new Ascian on the
Understood.
loose.
Send the Elder Seed Seer my regards. The communications officer. It seems this isn't the only tower. They've sprung up
Oh.
all across Eorzea. Nothing more is known, only that they appear to be of Garlean construction. Our allies on the Alamegan front are on highest alert. Forgive my directness, but would you join them? They may well need the help.
Of course, Admiral. We shall make all haste.
My thanks. I will return to Limsa to weigh our response. Look for Commander Hext when you arrive in Alamegan.
Be a bit of a difficult
And may the navigator
leap of
speed
faith
you on your
course.
way.
I don't think I'm making any of those jumps. Not without the extra platforms. Good evening, Papa. I'll go talk to Lise. Oh, oops. I wonder whose favorite. I wonder whose favorite Scion is Lise. I feel like there's someone out there. Not very many people, but someone.
Thank you for coming so soon. I'll send for Commander Aldin at once, and we can decide what to do about these infernal towers.
What happened? Oh. Hello.
It can't be.
Can I get that as a mount?
After them!
I want that. It's cool. Good evening, Raoban.
You're here. Good.
Well, well, well! To be received by such an illustrious cast! Why? Even the hero of the piece is here! I feel quite starstruck. Is that... Asahi?
His body, more like. You don't fool us.
Oh! You saw straight through it! Anyone would think you dealt with Ascians before.
Just one or two.
Permit me to introduce myself. I am Fandan, and may I say what a pleasure it is to finally make your acquaintance. My, straight to business, is it? Suit yourself. It is my intention to recreate the final days. To which end I have distributed a collection of rather ingenious devices, or towers, which will, in time, give rise to the grandest of spectacles.
The final days? But it was the Ascians who labored to prevent them.
You're quite right, though I would expect no less from one responsible for eliminating my unsundered colleagues. Honestly, the three of them were obsessed with restoring the one true world. As a sovereign individual, however, I never had much interest in such things. I mean, why bother when you're just another sundered minion? Admittedly, Elidibus was not convinced by that argument, but thanks to you, I'm finally free of his incessant nagging. Free
Bro
to
really
use my
couldn't have picked
powers
a
as I
better
see
body.
fit, to fulfill my heart's desire.
I don't like the fact that I have to see his face again.
And my heart's desire
He's a bit of a bellend.
is to lay this half
Asahi,
broken
that
world
is.
to waste, leaving nary a fleck of dust behind.
What? Why would you want such a thing?
Because I want wretched creatures who ask such meaningless questions to die. You! And you! And you! I want you all to die! And I want to die too! Oh, yes! I want to die and take everyone with me in a paroxysm of pain and suffering!
Damn, someone was bullied by the Ascians during their life.
From the ancients who clung to dear life, and from you.
You're
So
different
don't
in
be
that no
trying to
one fucking
reason.
liked you.
You will find I have no
You get
reason,
bullied.
or creed,
Aww.
or any such tripe. I just want to destroy the world. But please do resist with all your might. It will add to my enjoyment. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes peeled, for the curtains have risen on the spectacle to end all spectacles. We, the Telophoroi, shall be your performers, and this very star our stage.
Oh, bye bye. Bit rude. Don't do that again, please.
Ah, but I nearly forgot. I have a message for you. My esteemed patron, Lord Xena.
This is a very unfortunate duo of antagonists right now. We have two prime shitters.
While I wish only to destroy the world, he exists solely to relive a certain, transcendent moment with you. And it is for that reason he would reduce all to ash. Pray see to it his dreams do not go unfulfilled.
This guy's like,
For if you
yeah, I just want to destroy the world. Why?
My trusty
Bunny.
companion here, whom I've dubbed Luna Bahamut, will burn you.
Then Xenos is just like,
And everyone
I want to fight you again. I crave the hunt. You already kicked my ass once before. But next time is going to be different. Goodness, everyone's safe. We managed to put out the fire, though not quickly enough to save the garden. Raban, can I leave it to you to send word to the Alliance? I'm going to take a unit and investigate the tower. We need to find out what it's for. We'll go with you. No, you won't. You'll rest. From what Melwood tells me, you're due some time off duty. Should we learn anything about the tower, we'll be sure to share it with you. Till then, I want you to rest. Very well. But if you need our help, don't hesitate. And take care, both of you. Back to the Rising Stones we go! Let me go to a summoning bell real quick. Oh, Red Mage quest. Oh, no, never mind. You get so many weeb names in this game. It's great. I think it's so funny. Ah, you're back too. Good. We received the reports from the Alliance. Since we're all here, perhaps those who bore witness to the events at Alamigo could treat the rest of us to a first-hand account. No sooner do we overcome one problem than another appears. Would all seem tediously predictable but for the endless variety of our foes. This Van Daniel sounds even more unhinged than his patron. Unhinged perhaps, but no fool. For all his pantomime theatrics, he gave away little about his plot. We know only that he intends to recreate the final days, and that the towers will somehow facilitate this. He also called his dragon Lunar Bahamut. Let's not forget that little detail. And the creature did resemble the descriptions I've seen of the Elder Primal. That may be, but the fact that it answered to Fandaniel would suggest they are not one and the same entity. I think it more probable that it is some manner of simulacrum born of Ascian magics. Whatever it is, for now we can but work closely with the Alliance and remain vigilant. I believe that concludes our news. What of yours, Ishtola? I have been to see the Sultana. Knowing how quick the immortal flames are to dispose of the tempered, I judged it best to provide them with the cure first. As soon as I had sufficiently recovered, I travelled to Uldar and delivered the Porxies to her grace, along with detailed instructions of their use. My visit chanced to coincide with the arrival of some troubling tidings. The Immortal Flames had been on the cusp of agreeing to a truce with the Almarja when negotiations abruptly collapsed. The Almarja claimed that a number of their kind had been abducted, that men are responsible. Naught is known of the perpetrators as yet, But as the Immortal Flames went about investigating the abductions, they came upon one of Fandaniel's towers. On the subject of the towers, you may be interested to learn that they are not an exclusively Eorzean phenomenon. According to the Alliance, they have been sighted as far afield as Yansha. And it would seem reasonable to assume that they are everywhere. We simply have not found them. Well, as you said yourself, we can do little for now save remain vigilant. And since we are dealing with a dragon, ostensibly at least, I believe it would behoove us to enlist the aid of an authority on such foes. Estinian! 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 Now just a moment. If he could be persuaded to lend us his lance, I would be the first to welcome it. But the truth is, we will struggle to even find him. You let me and Cryer worry about that. We'll snuff him out no matter where he's hiding. If indeed he is hiding. We have ways of locating him regardless. So, if there are no objections, we shall depart at once. Well, rather than sitting round, I think I might go to each of the city-states and educate them on the use of the porxies. They would doubtless appreciate it. But might you consider taking a moment to rest before leaving? You would be fresher for the tasks ahead. Well, my friend, the moment of triumph did not last long. Come now, I didn't say that. While it may not be the most carefree experience, there's nothing in this world I would rather do than write a new future with you. A long future, mind. Whatever the Taloth Foroi might hope, we'll stop them, won't we? Together. Meanwhile, somewhere in the locks.
The scouts should have been back by now. I'm gonna go and find them. Oh, thank goodness for that.
Hold on. That fella ain't looking too good. He's fine. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Once again, Xenos is sitting on a throne doing nothing like the prick he is. Why are you eyeing that sword?
The piles have been driven as planned, and the first of the beasts has roared to life. Moreover, I am pleased to report that preparations are well underway for the rest. Ere long, chaos shall reign over all the land, as befits the final days.
Call it what you will, so long as my friend returns to me, fangs bared and claws sharpened.
I care not. Of course, my lord. By strange coincidence, your dear friend chanced to be present when I made my declaration. I took the liberty of informing her that you await her coming, though I confess, I may have singed her a little in the process.
And why do you tell me this? Are you in such a hurry to die?
Ah, my apologies. I must guard my tongue lest it be the end of me. Though, there is something to be said for such a glorious death. Better to fall to one who has it all than falter before an inferior. Huh. I shall keep it in mind as a contingency. For now, however, I shall proceed.
I can appreciate at the very least, the guy is wearing a hood, so his face is obscured a little bit. I don't have to see his ugly bowl cut at the very least.
I must find myself a new weapon. One worthy of our long-awaited reunion.
Why was he just on a throne staring at in a dark room staring at a sword? Like, stop being weird, bro. Be normal for 2 seconds. I get it. You were killed and revived. You could still save to not be a weirdo sitting in a dark room. Like, you're not depressed or anything. I would actually understand it if you were upset at something. If you were depressed, feeling dejected. But you're just sitting there. Good news, Sylvia. Tancred and Urianger have finished their tour of Garlemald. They're on their way back here even as we speak. As we still haven't heard anything on the towers from the Alliance, I'm hoping they might be able to shed some light on things. They're due to arrive any moment now. So let's see what they have to say, eh? What's good, boys? Ah, a welcoming party. You needn't have gone to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more than busy enough as it is. Honestly, you might have waited for me to return before discovering a cure for tempering. As it is, I can't even pretend to have been involved. Well, if it's any consolation, I myself was little more than a spectator. The lion's share of the credits must go to Alize, Graha, and Sylvia. But I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered what little assistance we could. As you will also have heard, though, it hasn't been all tales of triumph. Just as we were taking a step towards finally addressing the primal threat, a pile of fresh problems landed in our lap. Anyway, it's good to have you back. Though I can't help noticing that we're one Urianger short of a scouting party. You haven't lost him, have you? Oh, I couldn't lose him if I tried. And I did try. Repeatedly. But no. He decided to linger in Alamigo to apprise Rauban and the others of how the land lies in Garlemald. Mayhap you would do the same for us. Indeed. It was just as Lee said. Worse, in fact. Devastation as far as the eye could see. Nevra and Illard, however, were notable in their absence, by their absence. Might they have met their end at the hands of Xenos and Fandaniel? Perhaps. Or perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. You see, the captain has been plunged into a deathly sentence, with one exception. The Imperial Palace, deathly silence. It was a busy place before the war, but it's grown busier still, and throngs of soldiers and civilians working there day and night to rebuild, or rather, transform it. But transform it? Into what? That is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Urianger, certain aspects of its design were clearly devised with the manipulation of ether in mind. Magitech, in other words. Yet as unnerving as the edifice was, it was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working with nary a word exchanged between them. No one overseeing construction, no one barking orders. It was as if they were possessed or tempered. We wanted to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions, it seemed wiser not to take the risk. Van Daniel could bind Bahamut to his will. Might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Whatever the truth may be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You have our thanks. Well, be sure to save some for Urianger. Which reminds me, I have a message from Alamigo. Rauban is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings in the towers. He requested our presence. Then why not leave that to us? You must be weary from your mission. No, I'm fine. These towers have been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back, and I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. In that case, I shall stay behind looking into another matter, as I promised Kryl. We need not all attend. Very well. I suggest the rest of us make our way to Alamigo forthwith. The sooner we leave, the more time we will have to speak with Urianger before meeting. Goodbye, Stola. What you got to say? Off to the Alamigan Quarter we go. But first... No, not yet. How much longer? Very soon. Might as well just wait here. Wow. I was fortunate I had a day off to, well, I had, technically I had the day off work today, because, some of you may know this already, I work for an American studio, and obviously, they had an extended weekend for, American independence. Obviously today is Independence Day, 4th of July and all that. So it was an extended weekend from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But I chose to do some work today anyway, because I wanted to hit the ground running going into tomorrow. Get something that I've been meaning to do done. So I spent a good chunk of my day doing that. Now we go to the Alamigan Quarter. My friends, much and more have I heard of your travels in our absence. Heartened am I to see you're all hale and whole. As are we to see you safely return from your mission, Urianger. I trust Thancred made you feel welcome. Well, well, if it isn't Alphino and his merry band. Hello again. Been a minute. Arenvald, whatever are you doing here? When we spoke via Linkpile, you told me you'd be away on a mission. I know who's to say this isn't part of it, but enough about that. It's good to see you looking so similar. Thought you'd have grown a bit taller since a whole year in another world, but apparently not. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older, my body has hardly aged, as you are well aware. And may I remind you that we Ellison are known to be late bloomers, especially in terms of height. Mark my words, a day will come when even a great Arok such as yourself will crane your neck to meet my eye. Aye, it was not until my 20th summer that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions, though Mournbreeder towered over me nonetheless. Arenvold brings out the best in Alphino, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease in each other's company, it's almost endearing. So, what exactly brings you here? Oh, Ordola mostly. We need to go over a few things before we set out. Set out? Wait, does this have something to do with the towers? Eh? What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. We've got a meeting to go to. I'll see you afterwards, alright? Ordola is going with him. That must mean... My apologies. As Arenvold rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let us be about it.
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my gratitude to Masters Thancred and Urianger. It is no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial capital, and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
Full glad are we to have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
Theatrics. He sought only to make a show of the power at the Teleforoid's disposal. But since then we have seen no sign of this Fandaniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more.
I feel like she hasn't had, like, an arc over these expansions. Like a period of focus. Even in ARR, I feel like those three had a relatively balanced focus, but like Merlwyb and Rauban have had periods of focus. Rauban, of course, throughout a lot of Stormblood and post-Stormblood, and then Merlwyb, we just had one with her. But Kani Senna hasn't really had any time. We haven't had much time with her.
Are you saying they were tempered?
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar, and that was the last thing they remembered. But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked. Glory be to Garlemald.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is more. Following the earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses.
Oh dear.
And we now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers. Our scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania. The Temple Knights were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
Guardians really are the root of so many problems, aren't they?
With the support of Xenos, it seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Telophoroi.
Lord Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma. The plan had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first. Given the nature of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task. But I am confident in my choice.
Aha.
What?
It would be her, wouldn't it?
Primal influence as they are, they can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
She does not want to be
We're
here.
going to put our gifts to use, Commander.
Gifted or not, going behind enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
That concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and join your escort.
Are you certain about this, Arenvold?
I am. Come on, let's talk outside.
Now that it's out in the open, don't have to keep it under my proverbial hat anymore.
So you know, I've already gone through all the formalities at the Rising Stones. Made sure to inform Jamoldva and Vamar at Ralga's Reach as well.
Arenvold, I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan. With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
And you, Fudola? Is this what you want?
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Eldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you didn't.
So the Empire's finished, is it? But that's what they're all saying. That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat. And now, from out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head! I fought for Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald. What was I part of? I need to know. Whatever it is, I need to know.
Very well. If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
Look at these bros.
If you've finished with your touching display of camaraderie, I have a question. Which tower are you planning to investigate, exactly?
Well, the one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded. It's patrol after patrol out there, apparently. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it. Which is why we've set our sights on the one in Pagalthan instead. There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
Even so, I doubt the local Amalja will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their territory.
Fordola and I had a chance to learn the lie of the land in our previous forays there. We might still find trouble, but at least we won't lose our way. Well, we'd best not keep them waiting any longer.
Mayhap when all of this is over, we could take another trip to Loxeld. I would have you know I've become a rather capable swimmer since our last visit.
Ha! I'll believe that when I see it. Though, to be fair, getting into deep water does seem to be a scion's lot in life. Take care, Ray. It means a lot, you know. You coming with me.
I'll still owe you for saving my skin, don't I? Can't return the favour if I'm not there.
I dare say you'll get your chance before long. That Fandaniel sounds like a tricky customer. Too much for the likes of me, anyway. But we both know I'd just be another soldier if it weren't for my gift. And I need to be a damn sight more than that given what's coming. I realise I can't hold a candle to a hero like the Warrior of Light or Alphino, for that matter. He might look like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people see in a lifetime. No, the fact is I'm nothing like them, and maybe I never will be. But I'll be damned if I don't try.
Go on, lad. Go on, lad. That's what we like to hear.
On us. So let's give it our all.
Hold it down for
He does not
team.
want for conviction, that much is certain. So let us have faith in him. Him and Fordola both. While they see to the towers, I would attend to another task. Chasing down this lunar Bahamut.
Bloody thing. Can you hear me? It's Tataru. I'm happy to say we've managed to find Estinian.
Oh, good news.
And I'm sorry to say he went running off again the moment we told him about Bahamut.
Of course he did.
But he did mutter something about heading to Ishgard, so if you're quick, you might still be able to catch him.
Even if we set out this instant, he may already have left by the time we arrive. Have her send the Bonanza to Ishgard. It may prove useful should we need to give chase.
Boy, leaping around. Never in one spot for too long.
Gladly. I'll see to it as soon as Kryl and I get back to the Rising Stones. Good luck.
While you go off on your dragoon hunt, Urianger and I will return to headquarters. We have much to tell the others.
I wish you every success in your search for our elusive friend. May we all meet again ere long.
Wonder how old Urianger's voice actor is. He sounds quite old. Curious. Oh, I didn't realize he also voiced Mumkar in Xenoblade. Oh, that's cool. Can't actually find his age. Yeah, the ones that stood out to me immediately, I know Adam Howden voices, yeah, Pippin. I knew, obviously, like, it's very easy to hear, like, Alvis and Emmerich and Fiora in Tataru. So, Estinian was bound for Ishgard. Whatever it is that brings him home, we must hope it will keep him there long enough for us to find him. Come, there's no time to lose. Nice, good job on the reclear as well. That's. Oh, I say good job on the reclear, but like the faults in the previous one sounds like they weren't your own. Another person overwhelmed by the incompetency of others. Okay. All present? Good. Let's split up and search for Estinian. Since we're relatively new to this place, Raha and I will look around the open spaces, the squares and the markets and whatnot. You and Sylvia can delve into the nooks and crannies. Very well. Let us reconvene at the airship landing later, with or without Justinian. Good luck. I think I shall begin at the Sky Steel Manufactory. So perhaps you could try the congregation? Lucia may well have heard the news of our friend's return. Immediately followed. Oh, of course they did. I've heard about, like, the horrors that come with the pair stack stuff, as well as the horrors associated with a segment of the fight called Dark and Light, Light and Dark, something like that. Other people not pressing mitigations, of course. Range DPS, magic DPS do be squishy. Quite a bit more so than their physical counterparts. Ooh, all in the same fight? Ooh, that's rough. Good evening to you, Warrior of Light. Lord Emmerich sent word that you would be attending the meeting in Alamigo, so I gather you have not come in search of him. To what then do we owe the pleasure of your visit? Let's see. No, we were not aware that Sir Stinian had returned to Ishgard, but I expect you remember, he is wont to come and go as he pleases. Mayhap he came seeking an audience with Lord Emmerich, only to find him absent. In any event, I am afraid I cannot help you. Perhaps one of your companions has fared better. No worries. Cheers for that. We have to be in the Dragoon gear while we're in Ishgard. It's just right, you know? Just right. Fresh machinist. I mean, if I reach them in time, I'll try. The thing is,
No sign of him. Not that I've ever met him.
considering some of the utterly terrible people that I've heard on Party Finder from my friends, I don't think I can be that much worse than those people. Hopefully a little better than them. But I do at least want to feel comfortable and confident in my ability to play a class properly.
First the Scion's Coinkeeper, and now you. I'm beginning to think these meetings are more than mere coincidence. Not that I'm complaining. It's been too long.
Oh, no, that's not Alpha No.
Too long.
That's not Alpha No, bro. That's...
You look an ilm taller and twice as rugged.
Oh, no!
Quieter, though. Have you been giving him lessons on how to be the strong, silent?
She's gonna beat your ass, bro.
I am not Alphino!
Alphinaud about to saunter in and say,
If the two of you are such firm friends, perhaps you should remember what he looks like. And what do you mean, rugged? Oh, had my brother mentioned what an oaf you are, I'd never have bothered looking for you in the first place.
Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. He who fought and felled the dread worm Nidhogg at the Warrior of Light's side.
oh,
The day would come when I should
look
see
at
this
him.
living legend with
Oh
my
my god, look at the cat. He is so confused.
Is everything all right? I thought I heard Alize shouting. Estinian! It's been too long.
Oh, quality.
No, it's quite understandable. That was hardly the first time we've been confused for one another. Nor, I suspect, will it be the last.
Give them a few years and they will be much easier to distinguish.
Again. What I will say, for the second time today, is that you've grown. Inside and out. I can tell.
One can't remain a spoiled little lordling forever, you know.
Yeah, the matching outfits is sinister. The only way to you just need to know like which way their hair settles. Like Alize's hair settles a bit more over her left eye, and Alphinaud settles a bit more over the right. Like the hair is mirrored, and then Alize has the red hair tie, and Alphinaud has a blue.
He seems just as happy around Estinian as he does Arenvald.
That was quite a hard decision. I like both the first two
Good luck
responses.
to them. It hasn't been easy being his sister, I can tell you that.
No rest for the righteous, eh? Speaking of which, I was just on my way to borrow an airship to take me to Azis La.
Azis La? How could I forget? The dragon with whom Bahamut shared the deepest of bonds.
Aye, Tiamat, his mate. Even now she remains imprisoned on Azis La, though her remorse binds her faster than any shackle.
I see. As the one who first summoned Bahamut, you believe she may be able to shine some light on his latest incarnation?
I don't think you actually introduced yourself, Catboy.
Might I suggest that we make the
You
journey
just-
to Azisla together?
You just
I'm not
fanboyed.
sure if Tataru mentioned this, but we Scions have an airship of our own now.
I see no reason why not. Assuming your sister can bear the thought of sharing a deck with me.
Be my guest. But confuse me with Alphinaud again and I'll throw you overboard. Ugh! I don't know who he thinks he is, but he's nothing like Alphinaud painted him to be.
Look at her pouting.
Either. Based on what I had read of the man, I think I was expecting someone a little less blunt.
Oh, here we are on Azis La once again. It's been quite some time since last I set foot in Azis La, but I understand the three of you were here rather more recently. I don't suppose you chanced to meet Tiamat during your visit? Alas not. We had no cause to set foot here in the Delta Quadrant, but I have studied the relevant records, Which is not to say I wouldn't appreciate a first-hand account of your dealings with her. Well then, Sylvia's the person to ask. As far as I know, she's the only one of us to have met Tiamat face to face. Ah, yes. You were a friend of her father. I too have met with Tiamat. After the Dragon Song War came to a close, I came here to speak with her, a worm who had fought her own war against man in another age. I wished to know if she yet harbored thoughts of vengeance, and asked as much. She said no. My hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. But the guilt she feels for resurrecting Bahamut burns on undimmed. It torments her, even now. I see. Then your original reason for coming here was out of concern that Tiamat had been forced to summon Bahamut. Nidhogg is a part of me. I feel his emotions as my own. And I know that he would not allow his sister to be made a tool of evil. In his absence, it falls to me to watch over her. Tiamat awaits. This way. We board the orb. Whee! Sire's mortal companion, what bringeth thee back to this forsaken place, child of man?
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
My sins should be repeated. Have a good night, Nick Trickster. Thanks for tuning in. I sense not the faintest stirring. As to who could have called him forth, I know of none save the dragons of Meracidia, our children. The Icon claimed their souls when first he manifested, and robbed of their will, they became tools for the Allagan's dark designs.
Much like those held here in Asisla. If dragons who worship Bahamut are required to summon him, that must mean...
Yes, the dragons of Meracidia are at the mercy of his Ascian. There can be no other explanation. Meracidia. Said Ascians, vile minions of darkness. Again, you who would profane the memory of my beloved and strip our children of their freedom, their dignity? Are there no depths to which you will not stoop?
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering. But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished.
We gonna beat their asses. What wouldst thou have for me, slayer of dragons? From me.
Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Meracidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
I'm gonna beat the asses! Were I free, I would answer thy insolence with fire, but word shall have to suffice. Recall, mortals, that it was I who did first summon my beloved, praying with all my being to bring him forth. Oh, that was way faster than expected.
Exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul. But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Indeed. Ask the Dragon Slayer, and he will tell thee the power we of the First Brood wield. Were I to lose myself to the Icon's influence, all would pay the price. But it is of little matter, for even had I the strength to resist, I lack the strength to break my shackles. This prison shall be my tomb.
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
Speakest thou in earnest?
There is no future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner, not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
Chance to make amends, to lay Bahamut's memory to rest. When our own star faced annihilation, Heidelin granted us sanctuary, and now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow. For the debt I owe to Heidelin and to all who have suffered for my sins, I shall fight with you, children of man. Go on, Kibzu. Fire away. What's my ranking of the Kung Fu Panda trilogy? I haven't seen 2 and 3. I've watched 1 so many times and I never got around to watching 2 and 3. And I need to rectify that at some point. I know you have every right to be disappointed in me. That is something that I will need to rectify at some point. I've only seen bits and pieces of 2 and 3. I know at least one of them is about Poe finding his parents. But I don't know too much beyond that. I don't know why I didn't. Yeah, no. So I have one on DVD. I watched it loads and loads. Love that film. While Porxies have shown to be effective in curing the tempered, Tiamat must be considered a special case. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject thus treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Then, before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we can find that information here? Why yes, we can. We can indeed. The Allegans kept detailed records of all their notable captives, and I know exactly where to look. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of those shackles. I know Alphino and Sylvia here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Rest assured, Sir Estidian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star. But that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in a prison of despair, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. I took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step towards a brighter future, and now I would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you are not as young as you look. Mayhap when our work here is done, we could trade tales over a pot of Tataru's famous tea. And be indebted to her for the leaves and hot water? I think not. Let's see. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraint are located in the sector known as the Flagship. Ah, yes, we're familiar with it. The Ethereochemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, you may wish to take this. A spirit vessel containing a small amount of my blood. For identification purposes, I presume. Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambros, Uriange and I are researching the use of spirit vessels in the transference not only of memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines. So I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall at our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions, having identified me as being of royal blood. And armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try, at least. Agreed. We will take good care of it. To the flagship, then. Off we go. I clicked Mount Roulette and I still got the orb, I think. before I talk to them, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea, grab myself a snack, so I'll be back in a bit. Right, back. Sorry for the bit of the delay. While I was getting my tea and my snack, I was thinking about a Street Fighter. I played a little bit of ranked last night. Last night? Or the night before? Oh, maybe it was this morning. No, I think it was this morning. And I played against like a Guile, right? I played against Guile. I played Jamie. And they weren't like zoning with sonic booms, they were just jumping at me. They were just jumping and then getting full punishes on me because I'm not that good at anti-airing. And it was like, this is so frustrating because like the way that they were playing was clearly not good, right? It was, you know, it's the kind of gameplay that will not work beyond the level that I'm playing at, right? Because any competent player will just consistently anti-air. Or they will consistently anti-air that kind of player because they're predictable with their jumps. But I'm not there yet, and so I just eat full jump-in punishes every time. And then when I do get an anti-air, it's just like a crouching heavy punch. So, you know, I anti-air them for 800 damage, they jump it at me for a third of my life. And I have to deal with their pressure as well. So that's definitely something that I have to learn to deal with. One thing as well is that because I'm playing Jamie, I feel like Jamie is a character that he can't brute force at low level, right? He like, as Jamie, it feels like you can be aware of how poorly someone is playing, but not quite know how to capitalize. Maybe I think that's also partially me, right? I'm not at the level where I can just assert my will onto players, right? And just win. Like, I can do that in Grand Blue because I'm pretty good at that game, but at the moment I'm not good at Street Fighter, so it's tough. The problem is, it's like, there are certain characters that do that easily. Like, at my current level, characters like Honda and JP, they get to do it just without really even thinking. Honda's probably one of the most offensive examples. You know, once you get to higher level, the character becomes a bit more manageable. It's still very strong, but more manageable. But at my current level, it's just like, you have to work so much harder to deal with sumo headbutt and sumo smash than the Honda has to like just pressing those buttons in your general vicinity. Also with Percy, it's like, in the small handful of matchups where I don't dominate neutral, if I'm fighting against a Fairy or a Matera that is significantly lower level than me, like, it doesn't really matter that they're firing their projectiles and doing all of that jazz. I will find my way in because I have solid game plans against those characters. And once I find my way in, I win because they're not going to have good defense against how I play my offense. They'll just die. Let us split up and search the flagship for the node that controls Tiamat's restraints. But should you find the likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, nor less Tiamat itself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we have learned what we can, we should reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. Friction between metal components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Please replace damaged parts or retreat to a safe distance. Bruce. Data link with Delta Quadrant broken. Possible cause: intruder interference. Advise deployment of automated combat units. Proceed. Bleep bloop. Warning. Scheduled Dragon Restraint maintenance due in minus 2020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release. Minus 2020. That's funny. Because this expansion, this particular story expansion, would have been released in 2020. Yeah, I'll be doing Endwalker streams, but not immediately afterwards. I think I do want to take a little bit of a break from the game. Not a super long one, but there are other things I do want to stream. I eventually want to get around to streaming FF16. That's a big one. Obviously, I want to try to get some Granblue and Street Fighter streams in there as well. Granblue, not so much until Rising. I don't really have a reason to stream regular GBVS right now. And I don't have a massive amount of drive to play either. But that's alright. We're going to go hard with Rising though. I'm afraid Estinian and I have little to show for our efforts. Did you find anything? Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising. Almost suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of the spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the node of which Graha spoke. And it was chirruping, you say? Well, very well. Let us take a closer look. Bloop. Do you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanisms? Bloop bloop. You do not have the requisite access privileges. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanisms may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of the royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps? New user detected. Commencing biometric authentication. Bloop. Authentication complete. User identified as member of the royal family. Please state your name. Bloop. Welcome, Sylvia Duskbane. You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready. Bloop bloop. Error. Unable to disengage restraints of the specimen Tiamat. A system update is required. System update? What do you suppose it is asking of us? Well, it's more than I can say. Confounded bloody thing. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. The issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship. So can this thing release the restraints or not? It can, but only once it has received the requisite system update as far as I can tell. Until which time it'll float there spewing nonsense. User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating placation protocols. I am here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. How gratifying. But I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without it. What are you doing here, lightning sprite? That's right, walk away, bitch. Bloop. Guiding user to terminal. This way, please. We're definitely fighting Tiamat. That's definitely going to be a trial. I'll be shocked if it's not. Something will go wrong with this process and we'll probably be fighting Tiamat. As, since we haven't had a trial for 5.5. Let's see. According to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I ask which version you are employing? Why, software version 42.002, of course. Bloop bloop. Warning. Errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update, 5 years, 1 day. Oh god? We ain't got that time, bruh. That is rather longer than we were hoping. Are there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead. Bloop. The proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. Well, I can't imagine it will have changed all that much. As long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain. Just tell me if we've made any progress. I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via link pearl once I am ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. I may yet have use for it. But rest assured I will return. I'll be certain to return it to Grahatia once this is over. Silly Alligans. Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there is something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allagan Empire, both sides were dancing to the tune of the Ascians. And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Ascians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. And so I must ask, what do you intend to do with Fandaniel? Will you try to reach out to him too? I'd rather put my lance through his heart and be done with it. Real. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You seem the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. That has been your way. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we were journeying together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited. And there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. Balfano has things in hand here. I suggest we rejoin the others. Justinian told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphino's absence that he's needed elsewhere. Well, that all sounds rather frustrating, but you got there in the end. While you were off talking to nodes, Bra and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirm that her ethereal balance leans strongly toward the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether with which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning I need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic. Namely that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made the difference? Now that you mention it, it very well might. She would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk. It's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alphino to disengage the restraints ethereal dampers. I'm counting on you, Angelo. Piggy. Ah, such warmth. The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten, of war with the men of Alec. Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring has stalled to his pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by her recalling to the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Sylvia, she trusts you, so speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Ah, Bahamut, my beloved. Would that the peace we found in Meracidia could have lasted for eternity. But alas, it was not meant to be. The Asians saw to that. In all creation I know none more wicked. It was at their behest that the men of Alec first came unto Meracidia, unto our home. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. He took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Meracidia by the children of man, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I found a place to raise our young. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Charlayan scholar Urusha. She posits that man first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the second astral era. Correctly, it would appear. Oh, if only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo. When first the children of man arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragonkind, and as such they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time they knew peace and prosperity, but as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, and so they began to covet their territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife, until one day they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. Alas, those golden days of harmony too were fated to end. For the men of Alag slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Ascians. The rest thou knowest only too well. Your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Ascians together. You and your beloved will have justice. Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If treatment fails, run. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear, when this is over... Keep going, Alize. The magic is working. But for how long will it continue to work? While I knew this wasn't going to be easy, no patient could have prepared me for treating a great worm. But we're close. I can feel it. And we've only got a few more drops of ether left to give. With yours and Graha's, this will work. And I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Careful. I might hold you to that. Alright. Here I go. Piggy!
No. I'm almost there. This is it,
Piggy power! Yes, I feel it. The icon's grip groweth weak.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
Let the shackles be released. Answer me this, children of man. Can my kindred be saved in like manner?
Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
My children. Should you hearken unto my call, we shall fly together once more. But should you not, I shall grant you peace. Better to die than live as a tool of evil. You too would wish this, I know, and I shall do as I must.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
Thou hast my gratitude, little one.
Alphino's ready. It's time.
Something about to go wrong.
Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Bahamut, my beloved. For vengeance and atonement, I rise.
By the gods!
Urianger, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan.
Well then.
He lies for the largest amount of settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
We better get moving.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
Whee! God, he's so cool. It's actually not fair. Oh, it's Dark Echo again. We are once again at the same point in MSQ. While I'm sure you're desperate to join Estinian and Tiamat in battle, it would be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first. The foe we face demands no less. Sister, you can do much better than this outfit-wise. Come on, come on. I've already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Uldar, the Hall of Flames. Let us collect Alphino and be on our way. No, Poppers, you gotta understand that she is wearing those out of choice. Not because it's all she has, but because she's chosen to wear that. And her glam looked better yesterday. I wish you could view search info, like, on the overworld. Oh, I've just been forcibly teleported here. I'd like to see what other classes they have leveled. Maybe she got robbed. Yeah, I. Now, I know some of you could do with a rest, but I'm sorry to say that Telophoroi have other plans. Pagothan is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Tarapin at their head. Well now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond. It's good to hear that Oldar has not abandoned the Almarja. Abandoned them? Did we not profess to be their friends? Hello. Your Grace. Marshal Tarapin had made provisions for such an exigency and was ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the agreement of the syndicate, each of whom voted in favor of intervention. Exigency? What the exigency? Whatever. Nor is Uldar alone in its resolve. The other alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Pagothan. Yet even with our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested, for we face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, but Lunar Bahamut and its draconic horde besides. Tiamat's children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured. But not all of the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to Lunar Bahamut, none of the Almarja show any signs of temper. Strange. What primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls? Unless it is incapable of doing so. Primals are not wont to serve a master, Ascian or otherwise. It may well be that Lunar Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those who have previously encountered. If that were true, anyone could fight him, and Sylvie and the others like her wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Be that as it may, Lunar Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe, whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe they fare rather better, assuming that is, you are ready to take the field. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray, set forth as soon as you are able. I, meanwhile, shall continue to coordinate our forces. Till next we meet, may the 12 bless and keep you. Cheers, Nanamo. It was kind of her to speak with us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. Well, I, for one, am inclined to do as her grace requests. Lest we forget, Arenvald and Fordola are in Pagothan on reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better their chances. Indeed. To the airship, then. Man's rule is chaos and expects me to play with him. got me fucked up. I want to quickly go to the summoning bell. Greetings, we've been expecting you. Say the word, and we shall depart for Pagalthan at once. Pagalthan, now accessible. Oh. You know what this calls for? A fresh new dungeon run on the Sage. Hey, nice quick pop. Sadly, I don't see Dark Echo here. Honestly, kind of surprising. I guess she must be a little bit behind me. I mean, if they choose to pull without waiting, they'll die. Where are you going? Oh my god, where are you going? Toxicons. 1, 2, 3. Okay, what is this tank doing? Oh. Let's see. Fuck! Timer. Slap that on you. Get that on you. Okay, where is... Ow! Jesus, I like... Whatever. Oh my god. This black mage is going through it right now. I'm going to pop that on now. You need this. Please find somewhere. Bro did not get the lightning off of him again. Okay. He's almost dead. There's no point in, yeah. I'm not gonna revive you. There's no point. Oh my god. Oh my god. And this warrior isn't even paying fucking attention. Oh. They do not care. They do not care. They're not in any danger because I'm here, right? I'm here and they're there because they're a warrior. They don't have to worry about dying. But it's the principle, right? Just, it's a common courtesy to wait until the whole party is here. I'm not calling someone who can't abide by that common courtesy.
Oh, no, you don't.
Okay, what is this warrior doing? I'm so confused. Oh, Jesus. I was not paying attention there. That's on me. Middle is fine. Oh, the black mage was not paying attention. Bro, where is the tank? Oh. That black mage is about to die! Okay. Never mind. Oh, the black mage once again not paying attention. Oh, the black mage once again on the floor. That was eventful. I don't understand what's going on with this warrior though. Like, do you see what just happened there? All of the ads aggroed me because the warrior didn't. Ride the dragons! This is cool. The bard is getting the comm. The bard was also the only one to say hello at the start. Oh my god. Are you just gonna stand there and take the— oh my god. I'm sorry, bro, like— there are massive AoEs all over the place, and you expect me to, like, just stand in them? Where are you going? That warrior is 100% going in, by the way. And if they do, then they can die. That's fine by me. Absolutely fine by me. I will watch them die, and I will watch them on the ground. You see what's on the screen? Do you see the words that were on the screen? Did you see those words on the screen? They can go die. I don't care. Yeah, don't take that, bro. Both me me and the Black Mage were in the cutscene, for what it's worth. Whoa. Oh shit! I am getting... Ooh. Oh. Okay. Oh shit, oh shit, 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 shit. Oh, damn it. I was just a little bit off. Okay. Jesus. Damn, they left very quickly. Cool, well at least I got the orchestrion roll. That's nice. I got one com. But you know damn well that warrior was out. Out frame 1. Children of man, the shade of my beloved is no more, and I shall forever be in your debt. By your deeds are we set free, and free we shall remain, as long as I draw breath. Never again shall the dragons of Mercidia hearken to the lies of the Asians. This I vow.
Noble warriors, the dragons chose their friends well.
What's good, Armaja? Armaja man? I like your headpiece.
Have our peoples waged war, but no more. Your fallen lie beside our own. By our words and deeds shall we honor their sacrifice. The enemy of our enemy is our friend.
That was one of those runs where it's like, okay, you know, the Black Mage died a lot, so they're in the same position where they were new to all the mechanics, right? And they're playing Black Mage, which is a very stationary, static class that kind of needs to sit in their little puddle and do their thing. So, whatever, you know, it's fine that they died a lot, that's fine by me. I was most annoyed by the Warrior, because the Warrior was one of those players who ignored the fact that 2 of the players in the instance were new, and just ignored the fact that, like, someone was dead, because, like, they just didn't have the courtesy to wait for other people. And, like, I don't like players like that, regardless of how good they are.
It would certainly seem that way. The Sultana will be pleased.
And it's not even hard to see that someone has a cutscene icon on them. Just, like, take a second to pay attention to other people. And you think as Warrior, you know, a very self-sufficient class, you think you would easily be able to do that, but it's not. I was almost annoyed that they were on Warrior because it meant that they didn't need healing. It meant that they could have just... It meant that they were able to just run in and do shit. What the fuck? It's a bit of a ghastly sight.
What in Ralga's name happened here?
The gods only know. But you can bet these poor sods aren't here by choice.
Ugh, even the floor is like fleshy. Ugh.
Quickly! We've got to get them free!
Yeah, not the best idea.
No! What have I done?
It's too late for them. We're leaving, now.
Hey, it's like an Ifrit.
No! Don't you dare! We came together and we're leaving together.
Got a shield, bro. Don't use your arms. You got a shield. While it would be too much to hope that we have seen the last of Van Daniel, we have dealt his schemes a telling blow this day, and that alone is cause to celebrate. Celebrate I will. when we have received word of Arenvold's safe return. Right. I think that's actually probably enough for today. It is getting relatively late. I know, shorter than usual stream, but not too much more I think I want to do right now. Probably should have stayed in Uldar. Oh well. Let's trade in some of the we'll use this. Shame that can't be dyed. Yeah, shame that can't be dyed. Oh well. Trade the rest later. Yeah, once again, thank you guys for coming through, as per usual. I'll probably be back, I think, Thursday. May take a break tomorrow. Yeah. Bye bye.